the Alliance to Restore the Republic is an interstellar faction of the fictional universe of Star Wars. As a direct reaction to the Galactic Empire, the Rebel Alliance warred against the Imperial Fleet throughout the Star Wars galaxy, in order to restore the ideals of the Old Republic. The primary founders of the rebellion were Galen Marek, Princess Leia Organa, and Senators Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and Garm Bel Iblis. The Rebel Alliance was featured in the original trilogy of films in which they are the main protagonist: Star Wars Episode IV, A New Hope, Star Wars Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Episode VI, Return of the Jedi, whereas its origins were referred to in Star Wars Episode III, Revenge of the Sith. History: the first antecedents of the Alliance to Restore the Republic are told by the expanded universe around Episode III. It is explained that the delegation of 2000 is a group of senators who are disgruntled about the already unjustified extraordinary powers of Supreme Chancellor Palpatine as the Clone Wars were waning. The group included Padma Copyright Amidala, Garm Bel Iblis, Mon Mothma, and Bail Organa, amongst others. Palpatine eventually transforms the Galactic Republic into the Galactic Empire, appoints himself as its emperor, and immediately attacks such dissenters. In a few deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith, Senator Padma Copyright Amidala Skywalker is briefly involved in the formation of the Alliance before her premature death after delivering her twin children, Luke and Leia. However, according to the role-playing game, the Cantham House meetings of Coruscant, including the participation of Senators Mon Mothma and Bail Organa, take place with the purpose of discussing the formation of a galactic alliance in opposition to Palpatine's Galactic Empire. In addition, the RPG tells that although throughout the galaxy many sectors are already fighting against Imperial interests, resistance is relatively quiet until the incident on the planet Gorman, which takes place 18 years before the Battle of Yavin. The incident begins when an Imperial military cruiser commanded by Captain Williff Tarkin is blocked by peaceful anti-Empire protesters who refuse to move off the ship's landing pad. With implied permission from the Emperor, Tarkin lands the ship anyway, injuring and killing many, an incident that history would record as the Gorman Massacre. The myriad of civilizations which are fighting the Empire continue to grow in number and progressively coalesce into a ragtag organization known as the Resistance. They intend upon removing the evil Emperor, but the growing ruthlessness of the Imperial state forces them into secrecy, as they are initially unable to undermine the Empire's regime. The video game Star Wars: The Force Unleashed presents a differing view of the Alliance's beginnings, hinting that the Emperor actually secretly pushed for its formation. Palpatine clandestinely bids for the creation of another opposing force, intent on starting yet another war in order to consolidate his power with the fledgling Empire, just as he had done earlier with the Confederacy of Independent Systems. The Emperor orders his apprentice Darth Vader to use his own secret apprentice, Galen Marek, as a pawn to gather together the Empire's enemies, manipulating him into believing that the intention is to start a rebellion. Vader quickly realizes that this is obviously a ploy by Palpatine in order to lure any significant rebels into a trap. However, it is unclear whether Vader had intended for the rebellion to survive. At the supposedly secret meeting known as the Corellian Treaty, Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, Garm Bel Iblis, Jedi General Ram Kotter, and others meet to formally create the rebellion against the Empire. However, the proceedings are ambushed by Vader under orders from the Emperor, whom had actually secretly orchestrated the treaty himself in order to gather all the rebel leaders together and eliminate them. Starkiller, now aligned with the rebellion after 2 betrayals by his former master, manages to save the principal founders from the Empire, though at the cost of his own life. Regrouping on Kashyyyk, the senators formally proclaim an open declaration of rebellion, which states the grievances of the Empire against the Alliance to restore the Republic and concludes with an open threat to depose the Emperor. This marks the formal founding of the Rebel Alliance, and Galen Marek's family crest becomes its official symbol. Thus, the Rebel Alliance is effectively founded by Darth Vader himself, and, by extension, Emperor Palpatine, though it is clear neither had imagined that the Alliance would actually ever become a serious threat. The Galactic Civil War consequently ensues, during which the rebellion confronts the Empire many times throughout the galaxy. Although the Empire starts working to crush such insurrections, various allies contribute secretly to the alliance, slowly making the united rebel force more powerful. The most notable equipment contributions include the defection of the Incom Corporation staff and all relevant material involved in the development of an advanced spacefighter, the X-Wing. Later the squid-like Mon Calamari join the rebellion and use their skills in ship construction to supply badly needed capital ships that can take on the Imperial Navy. The RPG tells that part of the strategy of the Rebel Alliance is the doctrine of space denial, wherein the rebellion would attack Imperial shipping frigates in hit-and-run raids, both to disrupt Imperial supplies and operations, and also to loot desperately needed materials. These rebel starfighters were equipped with hyperdrive capability along pre-arranged routes which would allow this kind of harassment and escape before the Empire may react. During the events of A New Hope, the Alliance learns of the construction of the Death Star, an enormous battle station intended to secure the Empire's power. Operation Skyhook, a military campaign commanded by Princess Leia Organa and involving Kian Farlander and Kyle Katarn, successfully steals the schematics of the station, but her ship is crippled and captured by the Imperial Fleet while attempting to deliver them. Princess Leia is held hostage for a time by the Emperor's second-in-command, Darth Vader, but is rescued by Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, who were able to deliver the station schematics to the Alliance. This leads directly to the Alliance's victory in the Battle of Yavin and the loyalty of Luke, who becomes the rebellion's only remaining member with training in the Force. In The Empire Strikes Back, the Alliance suffers a crashing defeat on Hoth when one of their main command centers, Echo Base, is overrun by the Empire's 501st Legion. The remaining forces of the rebellion are forced to stay mobile, using Admiral Akbar's flagship, the Home One, as their headquarters. Towards the end of Return of the Jedi, the Rebel Alliance regroups and is commanded jointly by Admiral Akbar, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Lando Calrissian. The Alliance wins the Battle of Endor, destroying the second Death Star and the Empire's fleet of ships, which subsequently results in the death of Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, and most of the Imperial hierarchy. Thus, the Empire is essentially defeated, and the rebellion liberates most of the galaxy. 6 months later, Mon Mothma declares that the Rebel Alliance has accomplished its objectives, and the New Republic is finally established. 2 years later, Coruscant is liberated from the remnants of the Empire by Rogue Squadron. Symbol: the symbol of the Alliance is the Starbird, the symbol of the Marek family chosen by Leia Organa in dedication of Galen Marek and also because it appeared as a symbol of hope. Important people: original founders, Galen Marek, Senator Mon Mothma, Senator Bail Organa, Senator Garm Bel Iblis, General Ram Kotter, Senior Civil Government and Military High Command, Mon Mothma, Co-founder and Commander-in-Chief, Bail Organa, Co-founder, Garm Bel Iblis, General and Co-founder, Admiral Akbar, Supreme Commander of the Rebel Alliance Fleet, Crix Madin, Supreme General of the Rebel Alliance Ground Forces, Ram Kotter, General and Jedi Master, Leia Organa, Senior Diplomat, Han Solo, General and former smuggler, Lando Calrissian, General and former Cloud City Administrator, Wedge Antilles, Commander of Rogue Squadron and, following Luke Skywalker's resignation, General, Luke Skywalker, Commander and Jedi Knight. Former Commander of Rogue Squadron and current Grand Master of the New Jedi Order, Carlos Riakan, General and Commander of the Alliance's Echo Base on Hoth, Jan Dodonna, General and Commander of the Alliance Base on Yavin 4, Colonel Serra, Commander of Renegade Squadron, Bases of Operations, Home 1 and Endor, Echo Base, Hoth Yavin 4, Dantooine, Corellia, Coruscant, Sullust, Anshan, Second Chance Base, Bastion, Commerce Point Base, Grill, Notes and References. See also, Galactic Republic, Galactic Empire, New Republic, Galactic Alliance, external links, Rebel Alliance and the official StarWars.com encyclopedia, Rebel Alliance on Wikipedia, a Star Wars wiki.